You know, these videos aren't for kids. If you aren't at least 18 or are easily offended, you should probably click off. We here at Dual Wield accept no responsibility for your children. So if you are an adult who sat your kids down to watch our videos, you should be ashamed. Anyway, back to the video.
Hello everyone. We hope you all are enjoying 31 Days of Halloween. Now, sit back, relax, enjoy, and shriek your heart out. Welcome to the Dual Wield Horror Review.
Greetings, my loyal subjects inside the Principal Scenes Vegeta Almighty, back with more 31 Days of Halloween. Welcome back, everybody, to the Dual Wield Horror Review. As always, just like last year, joining me is my illustrious co-host for this, Shady Angel. Say hello.
What's up, people?
So, we have started off this series for this year with a pretty good move, pretty bit of a doozy, if you ask me. I thought it was a fairly good film that we watched. Today we're going to be talking about Scream 6. So
Okay. So as everybody knows, I am terrified. I hate scary things. And, I'm not a fan. Well, that does not count older B movies, like Friday the 13th.
Very campy, very cheesy.
All those ones. And I have seen the original Scream and I think Scream 2, but I hadn't seen anything between that. Oh no, I saw the 3, then I stopped seeing it.
I thought you said 4 last night.
No, it was 3. I never saw 4, 5, or 6.
Oh, you never saw 4, 5. Okay.
So, we are jumping, for me, into 6 without anything else from the last 2 movies.
She's jumping in fairly blind.
Yes.
I saw 5. I don't think I've ever seen 4. And I only saw 3 and 2 like once each, and it was a long time ago. And yeah, so both of us jumping in fairly blind. Like I said, I saw 5, and then we just watched 6, and
it was good.
it was a good one. It was really good. It's what you've come to expect from the Scream franchise. Very meta. Full of tropes.
Yeah, for sure.
Full of fourth wall breaks, and it just.
They're good fourth wall breaks,
Yeah.
though. They're not like, Deadpool talking to you directly type of.
Yeah, suck it, Fox. Yeah.
But, I will say, the only thing I'm kind of disappointed in this is that it really wasn't bloody.
It felt very, very toned. It felt very PG-13.
Yes. Other than maybe the language.
Yeah, okay, Cap. Language.
That language was pretty fucky, as they said a lot.
The language was definitely what gave it an R rating, not necessarily anything else.
But I never saw the 5, so I don't know the whole story of Sam and Tara. But I liked how they didn't just do like this elaborate backstory thing. You just know that they were part of that one, right?
Yeah. And
go forward. And I do think that was a great way of doing this instead of like. You know how sometimes when it's a prequel or a sequel to something, they kind of give you like a little 30-minute thing. This did not, and I like that.
Yeah, I do say that for someone, I can understand, as someone who saw 5, going into this, if you hadn't seen Scream 5, you're probably going to be a bit lost.
I wasn't really lost.
Yeah, but you had me to fill in some of the blanks.
Yeah, but even if I hadn't had you, I think I would have been able to keep going. There was some questions, but
I could see where some people could get upset
I can
with
see
that.
where some can, but I can definitely see where a lot don't need the the extra, because it just goes on its own story.
I recommend if you haven't, I recommend watching them in order. At the very least, watching 1 and then 5 and then 6.
Because, those are the good ones, apparently.
Well, 5 was really good. I liked 5. And
nothing can really beat one though. I just
Well,
can't.
that's good. But I will say, it was very. I could not for the life of me, like until the reveal, couldn't figure out who the killer was.
So
spoilers, by the way. Going forward.
I had the killer pegged from like the beginning.
You talking about? Okay, spoiler alert. Talking about Ethan?
Yes, I had him.
So I figured. So for me with Ethan, it did what it wanted to. It psyched me out. I was thinking, there's no way it could be Ethan, because they're clearly setting it up to be. Okay, they're calling him out too much for him to be the actual killer. He's the red herring of the group.
For me, I've seen enough of these kind of movies to know that if they put that much attention on somebody, they typically are.
But this is the thing, he didn't have that much attention on him either.
But all the group called him. Mindy kept going on and on about it.
Yeah, but again, that's where I thought that maybe, okay, boom, that's Mindy calling it out to be the red herring.
Now, I did not see, okay, again, spoilers, Quinn.
Yeah,
because
that one,
yeah.
I thought she was dead.
Yeah. The dad, I definitely felt there was something off about him.
I thought he was dying. I thought he was going to be a victim.
I didn't know. I felt something was off with him, and I said that. But I did think Kirby was for
a while.
For the longest time, I thought it was her.
But then I thought, no, that just doesn't. But for me with Kirby, it was like, I don't know, that just doesn't make a whole lot of sense. And then when they all but confirmed it was Kirby, when there towards the end before the reveal, I was like, okay, so it's definitely not Kirby. Now that they're saying it's Kirby, it's definitely not her. But the dad, looking back on it, there were, now with hindsight, there were clues to where it was like, okay, boom, it's the dad. Because how else did he know they would be tracing a call, right? Mm-hmm. And that, to be all the way across town to kill Gale.
Well, he was in the park then.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. But he was with them when they came up with that plan, is my point. So it was obvious that it was Quinn doing the calling, because Quinn was the one who stabbed Gale, because Ethan was also in the van when they were tracing the call.
True.
So, yeah, so, but didn't I call it, though? There were 3 killers this time instead of 2?
You did. I thought there was, I wasn't sure. I knew there was 2 killers for sure. At one point, though, I did think there was only 1.
Yeah.
Well, think about it. You only saw the one, Ghostface for, like, the longest time, and nothing else. But
True.
then I noticed, let's say, a little, like, an hour and 4 minutes into it, actually I have it on my note here, that there were 2 different masks. So then I was like, okay, there. What got me, and I'm going to be honest, was I couldn't figure out why they were the family that chose to keep going on with it. That was the biggest twist for me. Now, I do kind of want to go back, though, because we've started at the end.
Yeah.
So, as we kind of said, this follows Sam and Tara's story. Now they're at college, basically. They're not in Woodsboro anymore. And Sam has kind of gone, what do you call it? I think the word for it is native. Like, she's like always trying to protect her sister and her friend group, and she's the one that thinks that it's going to come back and happen again. Paranoid, yeah, there you go.
But that was kind of established to be her character from the first 5 too, so.
Yeah, but she starts that. Tara's just become this YOLO person,
Whiny as fuck, if you ask me, but that's
in the beginning for sure.
By the fucking
at the end, she wasn't so bad,
I guess.
And then, like, oh, dude, the opening of this movie was freaking great.
Fantastic.
Like, fantastic. So, there's this video, what was she? She's a professor.
She's like a movie film studies professor.
Okay? And she's alone at a bar waiting for her date, and then
He claims to be lost.
She goes out to find him. Here's the thing that I just hate with movies, that if you want to make it a little bit more realistic, you got to do this, which is no one in their right mind is going to go down a dark alley for anybody other than their kids.
Well, she was white, blonde, and had had a few drinks. Let's just call a spade a spade.
All right, whatever. But then the call, he's like, "You don't see me? You don't see me?" And then, "Oh my God, something's happening. They're coming to get me." Blah blah blah. And so she runs down the freaking alleyway, makes a turn-ish kind of.
Yeah.
And here's Ghostface just ready and to get her.
Yeah. Then she gets So when she goes down the alley, she gets murdered by Flash Thompson from the Spider-Man trilogy. The Tom Holland Spider-Man trilogy. I shit you not, it's the same actor.
Yeah.
By the way.
And then he goes home and he's all like, "Where's my roommate? I gotta tell him all about this stuff." And then
his roommate, quote unquote, calls him.
His roommate calls him using the voice. And eventually he catches on that this is not his roommate. And opens up the fridge. And there is his roommate, definitely dead.
Super dead.
And
basically, him and his roommate were going to finish Richie's movie from the last film by killing Tara and Sam. But, you know, the new Ghostface trio had other ideas and wanted to do it themselves.
But yeah, it took him out. It was freaking fantastic, I gotta say. Like, it was a great opening scene.
It was a great scene. And like I say, it cuts to Sam and Tara's nonsense, and Tara about gets date you-know-whatted. She about got Cosby'd at a party. And then my goat, the Giga Chad, steps in and is like, "No, bro, she's not, my goat, Chad, steps in and is like, "No, she's not going up there with you. She's drunk. You're not going to take advantage of her because Chad is a fucking Giga Chad goat." And then Tara comes in and also, Sam comes in and tases him in the balls.
Tell me how you really feel about Chad.
The black guy doesn't die in this movie. The black guy doesn't die in this movie.
You thought he did.
I thought he did in the last one too, but the black guy doesn't die in this movie.
Did the black chick?
Yeah, she also got stabbed in the last movie. I'm telling you, in
However,
Scream 7...
If you're Asian, though, you might not want to be a part of the Scream.
But the black guy doesn't die in this movie. Well, okay, so one black guy did die in this movie, but that's beside the point. He was an unnamed character. He wasn't. He was a lame virgin, not a giga Sigma grind set male like Chad is.
Who?
Gail's little boy toy.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Buff Usher, as I called him.
Yes.
Buffsher.
But anyways, so they go home from the party, and they're sitting around, and I think Sam gets the phone call, right?
I think it was Sam who got the phone call, yeah. And I think it was, I think she, so I think when, if I remember correctly,
we find out that she's got a love interest that she's keeping on the DQ.
On the Dairy Queen?
Yes, the L. Sorry, not DQ. Look, I'm thinking about Dairy Queen right now. I'm super.
I'm calling him Blizzard Boy from now on, by the way.
That's perfect. Anyways, so she kind of doesn't let anybody know.
Yeah, she blows him.
And blows him off is what I was gonna say. Thank you. And he's right across from her apartment, and the way that they're.
He knew. By the way, I want to say in Scream 7, he's definitely going to be the killer, or he's going to turn out to be just a piece of shit because he knew what he was doing. Fucking with the window with the curtains open, taking the shirt off. Oh, I hope nobody sees me with my shirt off. Just he knows what he's doing.
Anyways.
Sorry. Anyway, go
He
ahead.
sees Quinn is about to get murdered, and he's trying to get attention. And
You have skipped some
no,
shit.
what have I skipped?
Well, because first we see Cute Boy, and then they see on the news that what's his name was killed. Him and his roommate was killed, and then Sam's freaking out like, "Oh, this has got to be related to us. We're fucking peacing out." And then like they go out for a walk or something, and then she gets a call from Richie's phone, and then that's when Ghostface is calling her. And then
I thought that was in the apartment.
no, that was later. That was in the apartment. Cute Boy tried to call her.
Right, and then she didn't answer, and then she looked down at the second time it rang.
And saw the picture of, because they all got the picture of what's her name being stabbed. Quinn. This was later. So what happened first was they were walking, and then they got a call from Richie's phone, and it was Ghostface. And then they got attacked in the bodega, remember?
Yes, you're right. On that.
And Tara would definitely, in real life, get us all fucking killed because she's a fuck up. But it's okay. We still love you, especially your actress.
And then they're trying to leave, right? And that's when they see. Oh, they go to the cops after, or the police station after the owner of the bodega's killed and all that other stuff. So they go to the cops. They get questioned, and
because they found Sam's ID at the scene of the first crime.
And then she's like, "Well, we got to get out of here," and they told her she can't leave the area.
This is around the time when we meet Kirby again, who's FBI.
No, not that point. We see Gail again first.
We see Kirby when they're telling her she can't leave the state or the area.
Oh, okay. Well, anyways.
Around that same time. Anyway.
And they see Gail, and she apparently made a book about the whole situation.
Because for fuck's sake, Gail.
After talking to Sam.
After the whole situation, just. Go ahead.
And so, because she made this book and everything, Sam is infuriated with her, and she's trying to tell her that she can help her. Gail's trying to tell Sam that she can help her and all this other stuff, and they kind of just blow her off. Well,
Tara punches her in the goddamn face, by the way.
Yeah, so Sam misses, and she goes, "It's not my first rodeo."
And they get snuck by Tara.
Fucking just clobbered by Tara.
Also, by the way, during all of this, right after the party incident when they were at the apartment, Tara and Chad almost kissed because there's like a budding romance between those two. I just want to point that out. It's kind of important. Because
important.
Chad, the goat, gets the girl at the end of the day because the black guy doesn't die in this movie. Anyway, sorry. Sorry, anyway.
So, Mindy, who is the other, who is Chad's sister.
Mm-hmm.
And she's black also, because now we have to distinguish who is who.
Because the black guy doesn't die in this movie.
Well, neither does the black woman. Anyways, she starts going on, and this is where the fourth wall break kind of comes into play.
She's the meta character. The one who busts all the meta and does the fourth wall. See a fourth wall?
Anyways, and she starts talking about how this is a franchise now. It's no longer a sequel or a requel. Or it's a requel.
It's a sequel of a requel.
Yeah.
You wrote the rules down, didn't you?
Yes, I did. 3 rules of franchise. Everything has to be bigger. 2, subversion of expectations. I don't remember what that meant. He did.
Basically, whatever you believe is going to happen, or whatever happened last time, the opposite's going to happen. Which they did that. They did. The way they did it was crazy. They subverted your expectations, completely gave in to your expectations, and threw a fucking curveball at you.
Yeah.
Completely.
And then 4 was no one is safe, especially the legacy characters. So the core 4, as they end up getting. Anyways, and then she starts talking about how the franchises are episodic and to boost an IP, which you...
Basically, it means that at this point, everything becomes episodic just so that they can boost up an IP, meaning nobody is safe. Like, even the main characters at this point can be killed off because, you know, it's just
Now,
the franchise is bigger than the characters itself is basically what that means.
now, here's the funny part. When they're all sitting there, Mindy says that there are 3 suspects in their group. Ethan, because he's sweet and unsuspecting.
Nerd, yeah.
And a virgin. Quinn, who is sex positive, and her dad's a cop. And Annika never trusted the love interest.
Well, Annika super fucking dies.
Okay, so then we kind of, after this little bit, we jump to Sam's therapist. And this one had some great foreshadowing on it. On the TV that he's watching older black and white
Hitchcock-era horror.
Yeah, Hitchcock-era horror. And on the TV it's going, kill, kill, kill.
No, it says, so he's, like, somebody knocks on his door, and he's like, hello? He goes walking towards it, and then in the background you just hear, you're next, you're next,
Oh,
you're
you're
next.
I thought it was kill, kill,
No,
kill.
it was you're next, you're next, you're next.
And then as he gets to the door, here's Ghostface in this
It's like a stained,
no, it's
like a
it's frosted window. So like it's lets light in, but it's not like opaque where you can look through it.
You can kind of see, but it's like looking
You have to
through
be
a plastic
close to it.
grocery bag.
Yeah, and he just freaking
He just got like, he clears his sinuses. That's for damn sure.
yeah. Now
I leaned over during this portion when it's saying you're next, you're next, you're next, and I was leaning over to Shady and I said, "Wow, subtle foreshadowing," just as sarcastically as possible.
And then, so as this goes forward, they end up in their apartment again. Quinn is in a bedroom. Mindy, Chad, Tara, Annika, and Sam are in the kitchen, right, at the table.
Yeah, so no, it's Tara and Sam and Mindy and Chad, right?
And
then
Annika.
Annika is, I think Annika's just like on the couch or something.
Okay, well, she's in that area.
She's in the apartment.
Quinn is in a bedroom. And this is where I was getting to earlier, where he's trying to warn Quinn and Sam about the fact that Ghostface is in the room with Quinn.
Yeah, because he saw her standing over her bed while she was looking.
Yep. And she was like facing the other opposite direction than...
He opens this window and he waves Ghostface and says, "I see you, motherfucker."
Yeah.
I was so cold, I ain't even gonna lie.
And this is probably my favorite death scene because, again, it is the most bloody one, to be honest.
Yeah. Talking about the one with the
Quinn's fake.
Quinn's fake death, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Sorry.
Somebody, I don't know who, was it? No, I think it might have been Quinn's phone that sent them the text of her, like,
yes,
the
but
picture of her.
before that, Danny, the love interest,
Yeah.
DQ Boy,
Blizzard Boy
is trying to call Sam, and she just doesn't want to answer the phone because her friends are making fun of her. And,
what was it Tara said? "What are your intentions with my sister?" or some shit like that, jokingly.
yeah, but that's not it. It wasn't him that time. It was...
No. She didn't answer the phone. It was still ringing, and it was Q Boy. And then
Yeah.
when they all looked at their phones, they all got a text from Quinn's phone.
Sam got a phone call first.
Yeah, but
And then
that's what I'm saying,
Mindy
she didn't
picked it
answer.
up.
No one answered the phone. It was still ringing. Nobody answered the phone because nobody came on the phone.
I could have swore that Ghostface called her from Quinn's and then
No.
sent a text message.
No,
or
they
whatever.
all just got a text.
Oh, yeah, and then they start running around everywhere. That's right.
Yeah,
And
because
Ghostface throws Quinn's body through a door. And breaks the door with the body.
Yeah.
It is so unrealistic, but so great.
And somebody had taken, I'm assuming it was either Quinn or Ethan, I don't really know because they've both been in and out of the apartment. Somebody took and hit all the knives. That should have been a red flag right there.
That would have
Should have been
been
a clue right there.
whoever was well, it hadn't been Ethan because he was playing Ghostface.
Well, Quinn could have also just taken them.
True, but
one of them took the knives so they couldn't defend themselves. And in a roundabout way, it was fucked up. Like, somehow, I don't remember how this worked out. Tara and Chad got locked out of the apartment. I don't know.
Oh, because they
ran.
They ran, and Ghostface shut the door.
Yeah, and they were, so it was Sam, Mindy.
Because they said, run, go, get out the house or whatever.
Yeah, it was Sam, Mindy, and Annika, I think, right?
And they were stuck in Quinn's room.
Yeah, so they got stuck into Quinn's room, and then they were like, shit, it loops around, go shut the other bathroom door. And then as Mindy runs to go shut the bathroom door, she sees one of Quinn's numerous boyfriends butchered in the tub. She's like, oh, that guy's super dead. It cracked me up.
And me too. But I don't, how did Annika get...
She got caught at one point and stabbed and lifted up. And because while Sam was fucking around the kitchen trying to find a weapon when she had a big block of wood in her hand.
That's right.
She's taking her sweet fucking time. Sam's the reason Annika died. I'm just going to point that out for the record. It's 100% Sam's fault that Annika's dead. But, neither here nor there. She wasn't surviving that.
Danny put a, I wouldn't have, she'd have guts spilling out.
Yeah, and he twisted and pulled more.
Yeah, so it should have been guts
been
everywhere.
Dead. Yeah.
They could have made it a little more dramatic with that, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But they're stuck in the room, and finally, Sam looks over out the window, and here's freaking Blizzard Boy just trying frantically to get her attention. She opens the window, and he's like, here, and he starts shoving a freaking...
It's like a plastic fucking ladder.
It's a metal ladder.
It looked plastic.
It's a metal ladder. Like one of the, 2-story ladders.
She's like, are you kidding me? He's like, you got a better idea? Touche, Blizzard Boy, touche.
And so, Mindy decides that she's going to stay and let Sam go first. And then Annika decides that Mindy, who's already been stabbed now, too.
It was in her arm, I believe.
Her arm, yep.
Yeah.
And have her go second. And then as Annika's getting on there, Ghostface starts playing
yeah. It's shaking. Oh, earthquake.
And finally she dumps over and she dies.
Yeah.
And then, so I'm kind of wanting to fast forward a little bit since, we talk a lot of long time for things. So at 1 minute, or 1 hour, I thought the killers were Gail, Ethan, and Kirby.
I had no clue. I thought it was Kirby.
And then, a little bit later, they get a call from Gail, and she's found a place that's of interest to them.
It's clearly the killer's lair.
Yeah, and so they go, and it's literally a shrine to...
Not just a shrine, it's a Ghostface fucking museum.
Yeah, of everything from every Ghostface that there's been, and even the victims, and there's sketches of the victims, and there's
TV that killed Stu Macher and Scream 1.
Yeah, the whole thing. And they start thinking about Sam starts hallucinating her dad.
Yep.
And they had just so much stuff in there. It was pretty cool to see. If they ever do a Scream museum, this would have been the way to do it.
Yeah. Oh, which for those of you who don't know, Sam's dad is Billy Loomis, the killer from Scream 1. The other killer from Scream 1, I should say.
And then, so after they start making a plan and all this other stuff, to lure Ghostface into a phone call to track, right?
Mm-hmm.
the cop, I can't think of his name.
Bailey.
He figures out that Kirby is no longer a part of the FBI.
He claims Kirby is no longer part of the FBI because we can't take that at face value because...
Well, she
he's a killer.
Later down the road, she does confirm it.
Does she?
Yeah.
I don't think she does. Because he said that during the climactic scene when Ethan and Quinn are running around.
No,
there.
I'm talking about when he found out.
Yeah, he found out. He finds out, quote unquote, off screen, and then he tells Sam during that scene where it's clear that there's a ghost face on the loose.
Okay. Well, I don't remember exactly.
I think he's lying.
And what they find out, anyways, is that the ghost face is in Gail's apartment, and then we.
No, this was so no. So you're crossing wires again.
No, no.
So
they were in the
no, you're crossing wires again.
Okay, you.
So what happened was they're trying to trace the call to see if ghosts, because they go out in the open and do the bait thing where they're having Ghostface call them, and then they're going to try to trace the call. Well, they trace the call, and it's coming from Gail's apartment all the way across fucking town. Just nothing was said about her not being in the FBI at this point. Nothing at all was said. He earlier on had asked somebody to dig up everything they could find on her, but we never saw the fruits of that.
We did?
No, we didn't. We never saw a scene where they gave him, oh, here she's crazy and she's not in the FBI because that makes no point.
I thought there was an email that we see that says.
There's no email.
Oh, okay. Well, whatever.
Look,
I'm not gonna lie. I was kind of tired when we were watching this last night. So I remember.
So let me take the recap at this point because this is about the point where I guess she stopped watching.
Well, no, I watched it, and this is where the Gail thing happened.
Yeah, Gail gets fucking ambushed. Her boyfriend gets killed and thrown through a fucking wall, which fuck.
I will say Gail doing her self-defense, whatever she learned.
Yeah, her Krav Maga or whatever the fuck it was.
She did a good job for
this
a little while.
This is not her first rodeo by a long shot.
Oh, I know.
She was in the last movie
she
fighting
was in
off
the first
Ghostface.
one.
That's what I'm saying, but she was also in the last one fighting off Ghostfaces. And she shot him a couple times.
No, she didn't shoot him.
I think she shot him like once. I think because it was shown later that he had that they have bulletproof vests.
Oh, okay.
So I think she hit him a couple times, but basically she gets stabbed, and they were able to chase Ghostface off before he could do the finishing touches on her. But she was fine. She lived. Blah blah blah. Then that's when they come up with the trap to trap Ghostface in the museum, and basically make the kill box. Well, this is another red flag we should have shown. The cop who had no fucking previous encounters with any kind of ghost faces was too eager to jump on this whole execution plan. Despite the fact that his quote-unquote daughter was killed.
He was taken off the...
Well, he was taken off the case, but he's still a cop.
And his daughter was killed. And they do that kind of shit in life.
But the point was, but he jumped at it. He was way too eager. You could tell there was no, inner debate about it. Like I said, with hindsight, you could tell that he clearly was way too eager to jump on his plan because he was one of the killers. So they're in there, in the movie theater, just kind of stalling, waiting to kill time. And Kirby's like, there's only one weapon in here, and it's my gun, and I'm keeping it. And then she's like, I'm the only one in here who's FBI. It is what it is. And so that's when Sam goes back up to the shrine of Ghostface hoodies and starts hallucinating Billy again. He's
Kirby takes off.
Kirby takes off, and then Sam's hallucinating her dad, and he's like, what are you doing? He was like, grab a weapon and fucking clear this room your damn self. He's like, make sure that this place is clear yourself. And so he grabs his old stabbing knife, and he's like, excellent choice, or some shit like that. Tubular dude, 90s slang. And so that's when she gets the call from Bailey, who's like, Kirby's not in the FBI. She's been fired for 2 months now, and she's unhinged, and blah, blah, blah. And then the lights cut out, and the fucking projector starts going on, playing Richie's little stab movies or whatever. And so she cuts back to
No, she goes and checks the door.
She goes and checks the door. The door's not budging, and then it cuts to Chad and my goat Chad and Tara playing cutesy over an old ass box of candy, and then being the giga goat Chad that he is, he goes in for the kiss, and he fucking sweeps that girl off her feet. He's the fucking man. Until Tara gets fucking stabbed from behind by Ghostface, and then they start fighting the Ghostface, and Sam comes to help, and then he gets jumped by a second Ghostface, and they fucking I mean they fucking pincushion his ass, and he's just like run, and he's bleeding, getting stabbed 78,000 goddamn times. And like the goat that he is, he survived. My boy Chad is the black guy doesn't die in this movie. Anyway, oh yeah, and forgot about this. Speaking of, doesn't die in this movie. On the way there, they decided to take public transportation, and they all got split up on the subway.
So
Mindy got stuck with Ethan,
and she is 100% sure it's him.
Yeah. Well, Ethan is off in the front. And I'm assuming it was Quinn.
Had to have
been Quinn.
Because he goes back over to her.
Mm-hmm. And it was either Quinn or maybe it was Bailey. I doubt it, though. I think it was Quinn. Stabs her, basically, in the back of the train. And Ethan feigns, like, oh my God, she's hurt. Somebody call 911. And then runs to take off to join his dad and sister to kill.
Because he thinks Mindy's gone.
Yeah, he thinks she's over. Yeah. Stabbed. He goes to go join the rest of the Ghostface clan, and that happened off screen or whatever. And so basically, when they get there, Sam sends Blizzard Boy away because she's like, "Don't trust anybody." He's like, "All right, I get it." And so they fucking do the reveal where it's Ethan is one of the Ghostfaces. Oh, so Bailey comes in. And then, has a standoff with Kirby with the gun, and then they're both trying to convince Sam and Tara that the other one's bad. Mm-hmm. Well, then boom, boom, Bailey shoots Kirby in the fucking chest. Why he didn't shoot her in the face, I'll never know, considering, she has a bulletproof vest on. But whatever. So,
as they were doing that,
as soon as the other two come in, take their mask.
Ethan, behind him.
Yeah, Ethan takes his mask off, and
I was like, I fucking do it.
Yeah, he's blah 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 blah. My name's not actually blah blah blah. It's Bailey. Blah blah blah. It's my brother. Blah blah blah. This is my dad. Blah 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 blah. Richie's my brother. Blah 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 blah.
Well, no. They don't find out that Richie was his brother.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Right. And he's talking all this shit or whatever, and talking about how he killed everybody and blah blah blah. And then they're like, oh, Mindy, it's you, the other Ghostface? And I'm like, no, it's not fucking Mindy. It's Quinn. And then she takes off her mask. They're like, oh, Quinn? I was like, yeah, no fucking shit, it's Quinn.
I don't think you thought it was Quinn.
Yeah, I did. By that point, I was like, it's Quinn.
I don't know.
Because when I saw that there was three, and when I saw that Bailey was clearly the ringleader of it, I was like, Quinn's not dead. Quinn's alive. Quinn's one of the killers. Because
yes, but you didn't know until then.
Yeah, once he showed up and it was a standoff between him and Kirby, I was like, it's him. It's him.
Well, and then so they take off their masks. Everybody's shocked that it's Quinn.
Well, she's alive.
They make this weird kind of thing about how they put a cadaver body in there.
Yeah, how he faked her death. And blah blah blah.
Which probably really didn't even need to be put in there, just because it was so weirdly written in.
Well, I mean, it explained how he was able to get away with faking her death and all that shit.
But then, so they go on like this whole everybody's hunting each other type situation, and
Quinn, she starts talking shit first, which is what gets them separated about how, because that's when she finds out that Richie, her boyfriend from the last movie, who was one of the Ghostfaces, was Bailey's son.
Yeah.
And then she's talking shit about how much of a little limp dick pussy he was, and he cried like a little bitch.
And it started.
Yeah, and it pissed them off, and then that's when they started. They got angry and out of control, and they were able to break free. And then that's what started the chase, and she ends up fucking up, stabbing the fuck out of Ethan.
Oh, yeah.
And, fucking, shanking the shit out of his ass.
Well, no, that was Tara.
No, Sam shanks the fuck out of him. He doesn't die. But she shanks the fuck out of him, like a shoulder blade and shit like that.
Yeah.
And it gets to a point where they're trying to run away, and...
They're trying to get up to this tall part that has an open window.
Yeah, and then, Bailey shoots at Tara, and she slips and falls, and, Sam's catching onto her, and she can't, grab on, and then,
It's
below her...
slippery because they both have blood on each other.
Yeah, and below her is Ethan swinging his knife, and coming towards Sam is Quinn. And so Tara's like, trust me, and then, motions towards Billy's knife that she had tucked in her belt loop. And so she hands Tara the knife, drops Tara, Tara gets stabbed, and then she stabs Ethan through the fucking throat.
Yeah, and, into... So again,
Through his mouth.
I'm just going a little bit further ahead just to spoil that he is alive.
There's no fucking way.
After that part, yeah, he
Yeah,
was.
but there's no fucking way.
But yeah, no, the way she stabbed him, it should have gone straight into his brain casing.
At the very least, it should have severed his fucking brain stem.
And the amount of bleeding your head does, choking on your blood would be the other thing.
But to be fair, this isn't the fucking worst slaughter that a Ghostface has survived, because you always got to get that one last scare from the killer. But she does that, and then she taunts. Sam taunts Quinn. So it looks like you're down another brother, or some shit like that, and then she blows her fucking brain through the back of her skull.
Yeah.
She made it so she could breathe through her forehead.
And then how did the dad fall?
The dad. So the dad comes up and he's like, well, guess you're out of kids, fuckface, or something like that. And, Sam goes to shoot him and the gun clicks. And then they, tackle each other off the railing or
That's
whatever.
right.
And they both, he falls through some glass casing or whatever.
And she falls to the side.
Yeah, and he wakes up and then she's nowhere to be found. And then she calls him with the Ghostface voice modulator on. And it turns out she had put on her dad's old outfit or whatever. And... was playing him and fucking hunting him and just psyching him out, and then she ends up fucking him up with the knife, and then she's about to finish the job, and then Tara comes in, and then she's like, I'm not a killer. No matter what, my dad was a killer, but I'm not like him. I'm not a murderer or something like that.
Yeah.
And he's like, thank you. And then she looks at Tara, and Tara's gives her this look of bitch, please. And she's like, but you did fuck with our family, so... And then stabs him through his fucking eyeball.
It was freaking great.
It was great! It was fantastic. It was such a good film.
We both, though, when he did that, we both were... Or she did that, we both cringed. Because it was pretty,
Yeah.
Ew.
Oh my god! Yeah, I thought he was just gonna slit his throat or whatever, but fucking... It reminded me of earlier when they were swinging... The Ghostface was swinging, trying to hit Chad, and he... hit the fucking man. He's like, Chad was like, beheadings, just like Mindy said. Yeah. it was funny. But so they're sitting there up the thing, doing their cutesy talking. Oh, I love you, sister. Oh, I love you too. Emotional, feel good moment. And I was like, there's always one more scare. There's always one more scare. Ah, here comes should definitely be dead Ethan, and fucking all of a sudden they flying. Out of nowhere! TV out of nowhere! To the skull! The same TV that killed Stu Macher! Came out of nowhere, and it was Kirby. She's like, I saw that in a scary movie once. Like, yeah, it was Scream 1. And in the movie, and they go out, and then Mindy is, there, and they're loading Kirby up into the fucking... to the ambulance, and she's like, and the Tara starts crying, Chad, and then you hear, there's one more, and that's when I jumped up and started screaming, the black guy doesn't die in this movie, and then Chad's fine, and he's alive, he's going to the hospital, and I tell you, in Scream 7, better have Chad with a successful professional rapper career, otherwise they've missed the opportunity, because 50 Cent ain't got shit on him. Just getting shot 9 times. Bitch, I got stabbed 69 times. Fuck out of here, many men.
Sam meets up with freaking Dairy
Blizzard
King.
Boy. Oh yeah, Blizzard Boy comes in at the last minute with a bunch of cops and ambulances and shit. He brought the fucking cavalry. Blizzard Boy is not a bad guy. He's a fucking hero because he brought the police and he made sure Mindy made it to the hospital in time, and she's doped up on drugs and was like, you guys should try some of these drugs that they put me on. I'm feeling great.
So at the very end, this is where it kind of leaves it as an open ending. And he and I both have kind of different opinions. So Sam has her dad's ghost face mask in her bag. And she throws it to the ground and like kind of walks out. Now, if you've ever watched any of the Scream movies, you know that mask being left out usually means there's going to be...
Well, the mask being left out doesn't mean jack shit and fuck all when they sell those masks like hotcakes every year anyway.
No, I'm talking about one that's been used by a killer.
True, but they've always been different masks too. Except for this one when they were specifically doing it for a reason.
Yeah.
But they've always been different. But that's what I'm saying. They sell those masks like fucking hotcakes. Anybody could be Ghostface. Why they continue to make those masks in the Scream universe, I'll never understand.
But basically, I feel that someone's going to come and pick that up and go forward on that. And you said you think you weren't sure if it was.
I wasn't sure. I think if anything, it was going to be the long lost clone of Billy Loomis, who he thinks he's the real Billy Loomis, but it turns out at the end he's actually the clone of Billy Loomis, and he's going to end up teaming up with the ghost of Stu Macher, and
replay Scream
and
1.
Stu is going to possess Sydney, and Sydney's going to be the new Ghostface, and then they're going to have a baby. And the baby is going to be
Sydney is dead.
No, she's not.
She's the ghost face.
She's not dead. She was the final girl of Scream 1. She was in the last movie. Sydney Prescott is alive.
Oh, no, I'm thinking of Amber.
Anyway, my point is, then they're going to have a baby that's going to be the Antichrist, who is actually the resurrection of some other fucking character. Of Richie. I don't know. Some crazy shit's gonna happen.
It's gonna be weird. But I think that they did go in a good direction this time. I think it really worked having it be a actual sequel to a movie.
Well, they've all been sequels.
Yeah, but they're not like this one was. This one was really well done.
Wasn't... whatever. Anyway, I thought it was really good too. I thought it was a great movie. And... the black guy doesn't die in this movie. That's all that matters.
All that matters to him, really. We could have just
saved
all this time by him having that said.
My score: the black guy doesn't die in this movie out of 10. That's my score. My goat Chad survived again. That's all that matters.
For real, let's give it a good rating. I'm gonna say it was a good 8.5. It could have had a little more blood. It could have had a little more gore to it. Considering the first one, Scream is considered one of the bloodiest movies of all time.
I'll give it an 8 out of 10. I'll give it an 8 out of 10. It's not a perfect film by any stretch, but it's a pretty good Scream film. I like it.
I recommend it.
It got 3 extra points for the black guy not dying in this movie, but
to be honest, even with being at 8.5, I think that's a good...
Oh, you get a double recommendation here from us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's definitely worth it if you're going to keep going into the Scream universe. I think they're going to keep up with this part.
Yeah.
And kind of go forward with it. It was very good.
Scream 7, 0 out of 10, no Chad. But I'm just saying, if Chad's not in Scream 7, that movie is going to flop. That's all I say. Or if he dies, -5 stars.
But anything else you want to add to it?
No. Like I said, strong recommendation from both of us. Watch the whole Scream watch the whole Scream franchise as a whole, and yeah, it's pretty good.
You might want to skip 4.
No, I don't skip 4.
Nobody really likes 4.
I don't skip 4. Just watch it. Power through it. Maybe watch it in segments or drunk or high. But, you know.
We do not condone the use of drugs.
Jen does.
Well, that's not a drug. So, I don't.
I condone the use of drugs as long as they are prescribed by a medical professional.
I swear to God. I'm going to throw something at him. Hold on.
Wait, that's my stuff. Don't throw it at me. No, that's going to get in my eyes.
It's hand sanitizer. He's being a little baby. Haha! Don't eat these.
Ah, that's assault and battery.
Literally battery.
Boom. Anyway, the scariest part of this episode are my bad puns. But with that being said, thank you all so much for coming out. We'll see you guys in the next one.
See you later, dudes.